NASA just announced it has discovered organic materials, the building blocks of life, all the way on Mars. But that's not the only fascinating space-related news to come out recently. According to a newly leaked Pentagon report, in 2004, a U.S. aircraft carrier was stalked for several days by a UFO that witnesses said resembled a supersonic tic-tac. The object reportedly could hover in midair and make itself invisible. This shocked to confuse the Navy pilots who monitored it. Nick Pope is a journalist and investigated UFO sightings for the British government. He joins us tonight. Nick, why would information like this, I know you've seen this a million times, but why would we need to read about it because it was leaked? Why wouldn't the U.S. government tell us this? Is there some reason?
Well, I think there's always embarrassment about anything in our airspace that performance characteristics exceed anything in our own inventory. And that, by the way, was the conclusion in this Pentagon document. This thing ran rings around our F-18 Super Hornets that tried to chase this thing. It was briefly tracked on radar, but then it seemed to be able to, and this again is a phrase from the document, it's almost like it cloaked itself and became invisible. You'd think this was science fiction if you weren't reading it in Pentagon document.
Right, Shalom, giving all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Makar Kodash. Double honors to the apostles of GreatMillStone that rule impeccably well. And Shalom to the Archeum that's pushing his truth and sincerity across the four winds. But I just want to get into this video, and it's going to be based on this video article I found on a Fox News YouTube channel. And it reads the truth about UFO mysteries, man. Right? Now, it escapes me what this guy's name is. I think it's his name is Mr. Carson. I believe he came to the MainCamp a few years ago, some years ago. So, already this guy knows the truth, man. He knows, what this is all about. He knows about the Hebrew Israelites. He went to the MainCamp, the apostles, and he was listening, and I think, before I can remember, he got called out, man. So these guys know the truth, man. These news presenters, they know about the Hebrew Israelites, man, because they don't document them on the news, man. The so-called white man is trying to keep that vibration suppressed, but it's coming to the point where so many things are happening through the spirit, it's hard for them to even do that anymore, man. This truth is going out there without the media, and with just the use of YouTube, and certain other media platforms, you have this truth blowing up, man, which is already blown up, really, because, hey, man, there ain't no excuse, man. If you don't know the truth by now, in 2018, then, you've been hiding under a rock or something, man, right? But, they're going in on the UFOs, which is this is a common theme, man. These UFO sightings keep appearing. Me and the brothers, me and the Akim, the other day, we seen a chariot, man, which is the real name, an unidentified flying object, but really they're chariots, man. They're chariots of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, right? Now I'm going to play a few more excerpts from this video.
And we know now, which we didn't know before, that the government took this very seriously, and these things are being seen in our skies, whatever they might be, by pilots tracked on radar, and there's a serious defense and national security issue here.
Yeah, you have so many people seeing chariots. It's unbelievable, man. Just like he named it, you got pilots seeing them, when they're flying planes, taking people on a holiday, they be seeing these chariots in the skies, man. And, pretty sure that they report these things. But the so-called white man ain't going to take it further because they don't know what to do about the chariots of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. There is nothing they can do about the chariots of the Lord. Like, when you go into Zechariah 5, which I got it right here, it says here, then I lifted up my eyes and looked, and behold, a flying roll. And that's exactly what, these people keep seeing, is these flying rolls, man, these chariots, man, the eyes of the Lord, right? And I said, and he said unto me, what seest thou? And I answered, I see a flying roll. The length thereof is 20 cubits, and the breadth thereof is 10 cubits. Then said he unto me, this is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth. For everyone that stealeth shall be cut off, as on this side according to it, and everyone that sweareth shall be cut off on that side according to it, man. So that's actually a curse, on the so-called white man that goeth forth around the whole earth, man. So every time the so-called white man sees these things, what does it do? It invokes fear, man, because that's a curse unto him, because that's the way through Yahushua, that his kingdom is going to get destroyed using these chariots, man. Right? These chariots are going to destroy, the so-called white man's military, man. Globally, It's going to destroy Russia's military. It's going to destroy America's military. It's going to destroy China's military. Because when you go into 2nd Ezra 13, they're going to lift up to fight Yahushua when he comes through the clouds. Right? So that's why these people are scared. And what did this guy say at the end of that clip?
National security issue here. And national security issue. Defense and national security are, and there's a serious defense and national security issue here. And
it's a national security issue, man. Security issue. Right? So when they see these objects, and these objects are doing things that their military infantry cannot do, the impossible, basically, because if you've ever seen a chariot, the way a chariot moves is something you've never ever seen in your life, man. There is no, vehicle or, aircraft that you can build, right, upon this face of the earth that can do what a chariot can do. First of all, they disappear and reappear. Esau has not got that technology, man. Right? The way they move, they're not bound under the physics and, of the realm of our dimension, man. So they do things that are totally just out of this world. Literally out of this world, man. Right? So that's what has Esau scared. That's what has the so-called white man scared. So the only thing they can do, as prophesied in 2nd Ezra 13, is fight against such a object or surrender, man. But we know this, the so-called white man ain't going to surrender without a fight, because the Lord has not made it so. And it says here, verse 4, I will bring it forth, saith the Lord of hosts, and shall enter into the house of the thief, into Esau's kingdom, man. Because he's the thief. He's the one that stole Unigos, Hispanics, and Native Americans, right, from the interiors of West Africa and brought you over to the Americas, man. Right? And has further scattered you throughout the four winds of the earth. Right? And into the house of him that sweareth falsely by my name. And it shall remain in the midst of his house, and shall consume it with timber thereof and with stones thereof, man. So these chariots, man, that's why we keep seeing them. We're always seeing these chariots, man, throughout the whole face of the earth. That's that reminder of what's coming towards Esau, man, what's coming to his empire. Right? The scriptures say, Job 9:24, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked, man. So they are in rulership right now, but for not much longer, man, because with these emerging chariot signs that are happening so often, it's just a reminder to Esau that your time is nearly up, man. Right? Every time he looks into the skies and, these chariots, they play with his aircraft as well, man. There's various footage you can watch on YouTube where you see that chariots actually, basically just torn in their aircraft, man. Surrounding their aircraft, showing themselves up in abundance and then just disappearing, bugging the aircraft guys out, man. These chariots ain't no joke. And inside these chariots, you have angels, man. You have so-called black men inside these chariots, man. You have spiritual beings. Some that might not even have the form of an actual man. Because, it tells you in the scriptures also that, I think it was Samson's mum who saw an angel, and she basically said his countenance was very terrible. Right? Very terrible countenance, meaning something you can't really behold without being in total fear. And that's just an angel. That's not talking about the Son of the Lord. That's not talking about Yahushua or Yahweh himself, because you can't even behold Yahweh. But, that's just an angel that can invoke such fear in you just by his countenance, man. Right? So this is Revelation chapter 1 and verse 7. It says, behold, he cometh with clouds. Now, this clouds is talking about the chariots, man. This is not talking about physical clouds that the Lord Yahushua is going to come back with, man. So you see they have all that artwork that depicts, so-called white men, supposed to be Jesus, Yahushua, which that Jesus is not his real name. His real name is Yahushua, right? For you Israelites out there, you Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans, right? They depict him with, coming back, actually standing on a physical cloud, because Esau is not a spiritual man. The Lord is going to come back the same way he left the first time, right? He's going to come back with a chariot, man. He's going to come back in an actual chariot, in an actual, spacecraft, a spiritual spacecraft, man. One like you've never actually seen before. So behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him. So those two guys that pierced him to the cross, they got a heavy judgment coming, man, because the Lord said them particular guys are also going to see him when he returns, which, you know, heavily proves the fact that reincarnation is in the scriptures and is indeed true. And all the kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him, even so, amen. Right? So, hey, when the Lord comes back, everyone is going to mourn when they see the great appearance of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai coming back, man. And it is going to involve great fear among the people. Right? Now,
just to be clear, we don't believe that any other country possesses the technology to create an aircraft like this, right?
Absolutely correct, yes. One of the things that went into this report was obviously looking to see if this sort of thing was anything in our own inventory and indeed anything that any other nation has. I mean, certainly when I was investigating UFOs for the British government, we knew that some of these things would turn out to be secret prototype aircraft, drones, and missiles. But we always knew through our own intelligence sources, you know, who has what, so you can eliminate that.
yeah, so, you know, all the nations, they have certain spies, man. Russia has spies, the US has spies, you know, China has spies. They're all juiced in, right? So when there's a particular aircraft that shows itself, they know that's not the stock of Russia, or that's not the stock of China, or whatever country, because everyone really knows what everyone has, right? That information is out there, man. Like, they pay top money to find out that particular information. So pretty much everyone knows where they're at technology-wise, man. So that further proves that these are actually the chariots of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. No one has that technology upon the face of the earth. So that's why ultimately all the nations are going to join together and fight against Yahushai, man. Because they're going to know that this is not of the US, this is not of China, this is not of Iran, this is not of any of these countries, man. This is literally out of this world.
So what you're really saying is that the U.S. government and the British government have essentially concluded that there's something not from this world that humans did not create that is being tracked on radar and watched by people who watch aircraft for a living. I mean, this is real.
It is real. Now, the government doesn't go so far as to say these things are extraterrestrial, but certainly when I was doing this for the Ministry of Defense, our policy statement said, neither do we rule out that possibility.
So they're not going to tell you that, you know, this is extraterrestrial, man. But as the guy said, neither are they going to rule out that possibility, because they want to invoke that fear when they want to do that, you know, and bring that information out upon the people, man. So the people will be terrified, and, you know, they're going to take the chip and they're going to offer the people security. But they're going to tell the people that, you know, it's some green men, you know, flying around, you know, or it's a threat, these are aliens. But that ain't the case, man. They're not going to tell the people that's Yahushai, right? They're not going to tell the people that's the one that the world ignorantly calls, you know, Jesus Christ, that's coming back. They ain't going to say that, man. Because the belief in the Lord is not going to be pushed in this world, man. You know, they want to remain in control. So that's why they're going to try and fight the enemy. The so-called enemy for them, which is the enemy, really, you know, to the so-called white man. But it's the savior to the 12 tribes, the Unigos, Hispanics, and Native Americans, man. Right? Right, I wanted to get into this. I just want to get straight to the point. Right, I'll start from verse 8. And after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him, talking about Yahushai. See, the ones that are gathered together are going to be the other nations, man. The military of the other nations. So you're going to have Russia, and this is going to be in the midst of World War III. While they're fighting against each other, they're going to actually come back for the common agenda of, you know, coming against Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Right? And after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him, right, trying to take down the Lord, were so afraid, and yet durst fight. So even though they were afraid with great fear, and they saw the power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai and the angels, they still continue to fight against him, man. Which just shows you how stupid the so-called white man is, because at that stage, really, you should just surrender, man. Right? But the so-called white man ain't going to go out without a fight, man. even though he's feeble and he's really no match to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, because it's the Lord that's controlling him anyway, man. And lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he lifted up his hand. He lifted up his hand, nor held sword, nor any instrument of war. So the Lord saw the violence of them that came to try and fight him, man. And what did he do? But only I saw that he sent out of his mouth, and it has been a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests, man. Right? And they were all mixed together, and the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude which was prepared to fight, and burnt them up every one, so that upon a sudden of an immeasurable multitude, nothing was to be perceived but only dust and smell of smoke. So basically, Yahushua vaporized them to dust, man. You know, they show you that in the film War of the Worlds. You know, that's a very good film to watch, War of the Worlds, man, because it shows you. I'll type that in and see if it comes up, man. You know, that's a very good film to watch. If you want to see the closest thing to how it's going to be, man, when the Lord comes back, man. Yeah, these are basically the invasion that happens. These are the machines that are basically blasting people up, man. You know, full chaos was going down. People were getting vaporized and turning into dust by these so-called aliens that were invading the world. Hey, there it is. You know, that's exactly how it's going to be. That's what the Lord is going to do to the U.S. military, man. You know, that's how this thing is going to go down. It's going to be a beautiful thing. So we can't forget these things, man. This is, our Lord is coming back to do great and marvelous things, man, before the face of all that have afflicted him, man. You know, but with that, I'll say shalom.